All right, here's my research project, take 2. For this first exercise, I've chosen to research full swan. Purpose of the exercise is spinal extension, glute, hamstring, and back extensor strength. And this is an opener for the front of the body, so it's going to expand the chest, stretch the hip flexors, and the abs. For our equipment setup, we're going to be using the long box, headrest, non-applicable, out of the way. Coming to the back of the reformer here, our foot bar is going to be totally down, out of the way, in its lowest setting. And springs, we're going to be on a medium and a heavy, or a red and a blue. My gearbox does not adjust, but you might need to adjust it out of the way, maybe for a taller person, as our legs are going to be in the well here. So getting onto the equipment, we're going to be stepping onto the platform. We're going to bring our hands to the middle of the box. Finding a Pilates V with our feet, we're going to push out and bring our hips, the crease of our hips, down to the edge of the long box here. I'm going to start with my knees bent, picking up my belly, dropping my tailbone, bringing my forehead down to the box, in flexion, and arms are overhead. First part of the flow, we inhale, extend up, bringing the gaze up. Exhale, we circle the arms around and push out into a plank position here, nice and lifted, away from the box. Bend the knees, inhale, bring the gaze back up, find that extension. Exhale, push back out into that plank, and then bring the carriage back in. We're going to repeat this 2 more times. Inhale, lower body doesn't move. Exhale, circle the arms around, push out, straighten the legs, bringing the heels to touch, lifting, lifting, lifting. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Circle arms around. Exhale. Push out, find that lifted position. Straight legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Extend. Exhale. And return to starting. Great. We've done our 3 flows. To get off of the equipment, we're going to bring our hands back to the box, lift the hips, and gently bring the carriage back in. Weight into the feet, and then you can step off of the reformer. This next exercise that I've chosen to research is sideline leg work. It's going to have a variation of footwork and a variation of leg and straps. And the purpose of the exercise is spinal stability, hip, glute, and hamstring strength, as well as core and oblique strength. To set up the equipment, since we're going to be laying on our side, my headrest goes into a pretty high position, so I'm just going to put my headrest into the highest setting. However, you could also put it in the low setting and use a yoga block or a pillow underneath. We just want our head to be in alignment with our spine as we lay on our side here. Foot bar is going to be in the middle or low, depending on your height. I'm shorter, so I'm going to have mine in the middle position. Our gearbox is going to be in the middle, and then for springs, for our footwork, we're going to have 1 red, 1 blue, or 1 heavy, 1 medium. And then when we drop down to our leg and straps, we're going to drop down to 1 red or 1 heavy. So to set up, we're going to keep our bottom leg tucked underneath us. We're going to lay down on our side and bring your head to the headrest here. And we're going to bring our top leg to the foot bar, to the front of the foot bar to begin in this first variation. We want the weight of our foot on the foot bar to be between the big toe and the second toe. We want our knee to be in alignment with our hip, and I'm going to bring my hand to my hip here to make sure that I'm not rolled back or forward. We want the hips nice and stacked. And before I do anything, I'm going to find that lift underneath my side. And I'm going to exhale, push out. Inhale, pull the carriage back in, nice and controlled, keeping knee in alignment with hip. Exhale. Inhale, go back in, keeping that side nice and lifted here. Great. Another variation, we could bring our foot towards the back of the foot bar here. Our heel is going to be off the foot bar to start. Make sure we're in alignment, nice and lifted. And exhale, push out. We're going to try to bring the heel towards the foot bar. Inhale, the heel is going to lift as we pull back in. Make sure that everything stays Nice and aligned here. Inhale, return, exhale, inhale, return. For our last variation, I'm going to have our leg in the strap. Before I do that, I'm going to drop down to one red spring, one heavy spring. I'm gonna grab onto our front strap here, the one that's closest to us. I'm gonna lay back down. I'm gonna pull the strap towards me. I'm gonna bring my foot into the strap here, bringing it into my low arch, or you can do high arch, just not in the middle of your foot here. I'm gonna push out to where my knee is in alignment with my hip. We don't want the knee to get too close to us here. So I'm gonna readjust here, bringing my shoulders slightly away from the shoulder rest so that I can comfortably be rested here. Bring that knee where it needs to be and make sure that my hips are nice and stacked. Same breath, we're going to exhale, push out, inhale, pull back in, exhale, inhale, pull back in. This requires much more stability than the footwork. Inhale, making sure that we stay lifted through that side here. Great, now to get off of the equipment here, we're going to let the carriage come in so you can grab onto that strap, release your foot, control your weight all the way back in, release that strap, and then you can push off and get off of your reformer.